I think it's important that I tell you that we're planning to do something which is similar to what we did in 1999. 1999 was I thought that might be me. 1999, I see that I have it off. 1999 was an extraordinary program, and it was very successful. And I think that's taught us how to do it. Nobody else knew how to do it. We fell on it, as with so many things, like responsible government. The idea that a government is responsible in the lower house wasn't some academic, not having a go at academics, am I? Some academic sitting in an office at a university designing the concept of responsible government, that is, a government rises and falls, requiring the confidence of the lower house. It wasn't like that. That just came from experience, from practice, from people moving after the American Revolution, moving a vote of no confidence, the government resigning, gradually being accepted that this was something that had to happen, that governments must always have the confidence of the lower house. It wasn't just for the king to choose the prime minister and impose a government on the nation. That gradually arose. And other aspects of the Constitution come like this. So we learned how to campaign, but we realize now that we must really campaign not as in 1999, but campaign as in 2019. And that means that we must have a strong digital campaign as well as a personal campaign. You can't abandon the personal campaign. But there are a number of features of that campaign. But one of the things that we have had on the working committee, we've had what I call a dream digital team. A team of experts in matters digital who can guide us. And we have some of them on the panel. Wing Commander Nick Hobson, who's had an extraordinary career in the RAAF, and also as ADC to a Governor of Victoria, who's led us in many ways in that respect. Joy Martinkovitz, the Executive Director, the young Executive Director, who's an absolute whiz in matters digital, who can't be here today because his broking business has demanded that he urgently stay behind. And in addition, John Olson. John Olson was educated in the United States, is an American citizen, and is also an Australian citizen, has worked with the major firms in the United States, and is, I cannot think of a person better equipped to lead us on matters digital, and who's doing this because he believes strongly in the constitutional monarchy, who will, as he did in Melbourne, who will in Sydney give an address on why he is a constitutional monarchist. And what he is doing is particularly important, and that will help us. That is our digital campaign. And then there's myself, this is on the working committee, there's myself and Nella Hall. Nella Hall is there. She has a legal and accounting background, is that right? Yes. And she's a councillor on Strathfield Council. She's a prominent person in the Christian Democratic Party and has contested elections for them. She succeeds David Elliott. David Elliott was our national campaign director in 1999. And I told you that it was essentially a military campaign, hierarchical, with directors in every state, meeting every morning, as it were, as if we were the high command, reaching decisions by consensus, sending them out to the states and making sure that these were received in every electorate in Australia, because we had an enormous number of foot soldiers, people like yourselves, people who wanted to work for the constitutional monarchy. The ARM didn't have this. Their membership were mainly celebrities and people who wanted to go to candlelit dinners. For the referendum, what they used was the ACTU and the ALP. They had no organisation on the ground. We did, because it was a people's organisation. And it worked superbly. It worked very well. What we have to do, and Nella now will succeed, or she's succeeding David Elliott as the National Campaign Director. Now, David comes from the army, knew how to run this sort of thing. He's now the Minister for Prisons and the Minister for Counter-Terrorism in New South Wales, so he knows about these things. Nella has succeeded him as the National Campaign Director.